All right, we are live. What is going on, guys? Let us know in chat how we sound. I sound okay?
Testing 1, 2,
That's
3.
right. Yeah, let us know. Let us know. We're kind of makeshift setup here in a cigar lounge here.
We are live.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell are you, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. Better
Yeah.
now. I got a cigar. I got a drink here.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to you, buddy.
Heck
Cheers.
yeah. Heck yeah. All right, so I'm going to wait for my phone to catch up here. Let's see. Live. Okay, we're good. Everybody says we're good.
Good to go.
That is awesome. So we are, do we tell people where we are tonight?
Yeah, help yourself. Yeah.
So Dan has invited me to, we are in Union Cigar, right?
Yep.
In Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So we're in one of the lounges hanging out,
Yep.
having drinks, having cigars. You know, good time. This is round 2.
Yeah, round 2.
We did this once before.
And I gotta say, man, you're getting pretty damn good with setting this thing up. Like you got your lights up here. You know, the whole. You're like a mobile.
Yes.
You know, podcast studio.
Yes, everything in one bag. It worked out perfect.
Oh, who's the guy for Joe Rogan? Jamie, eat your heart out, Jamie.
That's right. That's right.
You
I need a
set up
Jamie
quick.
in the corner right now. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Hey, can you put that up, Jamie?
Yeah, it would be
Take
nice
care
to
of
have
that.
a Jamie, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we're in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It was a good meeting point for Dan and I. This is actually really nice doing like early. We got Twitter's on here
I got
too.
Twitter rolling
Yep.
here.
Cool. We got Twitter going. Dan's got his Twitter live, I believe, as well, which is good. So kind of a game plan tonight, guys. We're just gonna hang out, shoot the shit, talk about anything and everything Flux, answer questions in chat, which I think
Anything crypto, blockchain,
sure.
or hell, I don't even care.
We were talking about 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐼 before this.
Yeah,
Before we went live.
no politics.
Yep.
No politics. That's that gets me my blood pressure up too high before bed.
Yes, yes. So if you guys are joining us tonight, you know, and want to join us for the season, grab a cigar, grab a drink.
Yep.
What are you guys drinking in chat? Let us know. Here, we'll put this here.
I'm rocking a
There
Labatt Blue, and I also have a nice little pour over here. I'm double fisting tonight.
Ah, that a boy.
So I got a little bit of Buffalo Trace sitting over here, and
Don't spill it.
don't spill it, right?
Yes.
That's like the ultimate party foul live right on live stream.
That's
here.
right. That's right. Cool. So I think last Dan and I actually saw each other with Cipher Punk.
Yes.
Wrap things up there. A lot of fun.
It was a
Several
blast,
days
dude.
of fun, which is cool. So I was thinking about this on the ride over. I was like, okay, Dan, so what went really well for you and the team, and what are you guys looking to improve upon next year?
Dude, this is a crazy thing, but it was freaking perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was very few things that we would have changed. I think we want to have a clearer delineation between like vendors, because our vendors were kind of lumped into different areas. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the entire event was for a first year event like that was absolutely flawless. And the cool thing was walking around there, listening to everybody talk about mining, talking about, GPUs, ASICs, everything, business, like people really talking about how do we scale blockchain. It's like the whole premise of Cipher Punk was to make blockchain decentralized again, right? It was like the unconsensus.
Yep.
And I really think we accomplished that. You know, every single day I learned something new. Got to hang out in the Back to the Future DeLorean.
That was cool.
That
was cool.
Kind of cool.
Got out of it like Marley McFly. What was his name? Yeah, McFly. Yep. And jumping out of there, he had the board and everything. That was really cool.
Special shout out to Scott. He made all of that magic happen with his team. We have a great team. We have Betty and I mean Marcio and the entire team, Caroline, Davey. Everybody just really made it super nice. And if I forgot you, don't worry, I didn't forget you. I just can't rattle through those names that quick. But
on the spot.
Yeah, getting old, man. But yeah, I think the biggest thing was we got the best value add. Now for next year, I think we will do some things different, and we've already had, because of the success of that, massive influx of people requesting to come. No pun intended.
Funny influx.
So, and I think one of the things you can see next year too is it's not going to just be Flux that's going to be kind of linked to this as well. We're going to have some other projects that are going to put their mark on it as well, and we did book it for same time next year, same location.
Yeah, I really like the venue. It was very it was a nice, we had previously, a few weeks before that, we went to Mining Disrupt, and we kind of got to have that very vendor style showy type of booth deal, and this was I think it was exactly what you had hoped for. It was very social, walk around, types of deal, things like that. I think we're good.
Mining Disrupt was institutional.
Okay.
Right. That's what it felt like. Everything was a standard trade show.
A lot of B2B.
Cipher Punk is the after party for 2 days straight.
That's good.
You know what I mean? And anybody that goes to these conferences knows that's where things get real. Is having a beer out at the bar or so we brought those things in. We brought cigar rollers in. We brought everybody had drink tickets and food, and you didn't have to leave.
Lots of drink tickets.
Lots of drink tickets. So you didn't have to leave for anything, and honestly,
the food was really nice. Not having to worry about food trucks, not having to worry about when I'm going to eat. That was really convenient.
Yeah,
that was really nice.
And I mean, the food was excellent. I mean, every meal was really good. Yeah. So I mean, the majority of what we heard from everyone was glowing remarks. So we did something right, because we had a lot of critical people there that would be critical, and they'd tell you if they didn't like something, they'll let you know about it. Yeah, it was good. And I would say the majority of it was awesome. I mean, I want to get everyone there next time. So, DJ, there's no excuse for you not to be there next time. But yeah, it was just a blast, man. We had a really good time. So A+ across the board. It's going to happen again next year. We are going to have one in the EU as well for the folks that can't make it to the US.
That'll be nice.
We're still really kind of early on with that. Czech Republic, maybe. There's
on location type of deal. Okay.
Portugal. There's a couple of different areas where we're thinking we kind of want to stay out of the some of the other cities, but we want to pick one that fits us and fits our vibe.
Yeah, that's good.
Fort Lauderdale definitely fit our vibe down.
No, it was good. It was a great location. Really enjoyed it. I think some of the vendor presentations, were not it was the wrong audience for some of them. Other things I would have loved to see was a GPU focus somewhere, because that's really the backbone of Flux. So having if you had one of the things up on the side stage could have been how to build a GPU mining rig, and it was literally had the hardware there, so that people could
the rig build off we did.
Kind of like the rig build off, but more here's how to build how to build a Flux GPU mining rig.
Yeah, and
had a few people brand new that never done it before. We had Davey's daughter, and then we also had the older gentleman. Great example. Or on the node side, the Flux node side, there was nothing really about the Flux node, so it'd be really cool to have all right, something about how to set up a Flux node.
Yeah.
From start to finish, and a little bit more relatable, those types of items.
Yeah, I think we could definitely see that too, and get, the Octo miner down there running proof of use of work.
Yeah, some hands-on stuff.
So, get some my ghetto rigs that I'm building. So, they'd be fun to have down there as well. And I don't know, man, we definitely want to have more input from the community of things they'd like to see as well as we move forward.
Well, next year, when you need some help with the planning community, just hit me up.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll charge you beer.
Scott right here.
Charge you beer and cigars, Scott. All right, that's all
Scott,
I charge.
Yep. Scott and his damn necklace of drink tickets.
That's right.
Walking around, everybody was hitting him up. He was the most popular guy down there. Let's just face it. You know what I mean? Like he was the wizard of the drink tickets. He was the gateway of the of booze.
Yeah.
Libration. That's what I was
well, you know, and for those of you guys unfamiliar, they, you know, it was pretty much an open bar at the end of the day, but they had drink tickets in order for them to account for the drinks. That's how they did it. So you need a drink ticket, you just hit up anybody, any of the Flux people, and they give you a drink ticket.
Yeah,
so
it was pretty crazy too, because toward the end, we still had a shit ton of tickets, so we're running around getting everybody shit faced because we had to use all the tickets up. So
that's funny.
I think we ended up coming out of there with no tickets though. So
that's a good sign.
It was a good sign. I think people had a good time.
It's a good sign.
Yeah, overall A+ across the board in my book.
I like it. I like it. All right, cool. So guys, if you guys have questions, I'm going to try to watch chat. But I also had some things that I kind of came up with of things to talk about. You kind of mentioned it earlier, so I thought I would jump on it. So you had mentioned your half-ass rig for your Flux Proof Useful Work stuff. So tell me about that. Like, tell me about this rig.
By Frankenstein.
What is it? Tell me about the hardware.
So started to play around with. Okay, so I to be fair, I ordered some octo miners, you know, because I'm for the very first time, and because when Flux's nodes got stood up, I really moved. You know, people that know me know I had a mining facility and all that kind of stuff, and I liquidated the entire facility, all the cards, everything at the height of, I guess it was 2017-ish into 2018.
Yeah, and you were doing Ethereum, you know, back then.
Yeah, I just basically stood up nodes. So, you know, because I feel like that's, you know, obviously that's where it's at. It's easier for me to maintain and manage, you know, things like that. I have some folks that help me out with managing it as well, because I just don't have the damn time.
Yep.
But with proof of use of work coming, I broke down, bought some graphics cards. And
back in the game.
Yeah, back in the game. Back in the game. And I'll take some pictures of
he said he bought some graphics cards. Don't let this man lie to you. How many graphics cards you buy, Dan?
I'm not telling you.
All right, I know how many he bought. I won't say,
shitload.
But it was a shitload.
Yeah, it was the right place. And you know, the thing about it is and for everyone's information, I don't know anything that you know. I mean, you know what I know in terms of, like, I don't have any insider information like this would be the best graphics card, because the way proof of use of work is designed is it's really going to use anything. So it's going
to use anything, and it's going to use a variety of the different hardware. So it's not just GPU. It's, you know.
Yeah. So I went with the what is it? The 3060.
3060M.
3060M.
Don't worry, guys. I got them. We're good.
3060M. Yeah. And you know, heat management's better. I use this Frankenstein case that I, you know, bought for a different setup. I mean, I think it's like, you know, I went directly to Amazon and I looked at these cases.
Yeah.
So, and then I contacted the company in China and said, look, I want to build one of these, but I want it to be for this configuration. So I, you know, took pictures, everything, came back. I said, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
You have to buy a minimum of 100 of them.
Yeah.
So I bought 100 of them.
You weren't talking 5. You were talking quite a few rigs that you're building.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah. So I bought 100 of them. The reason I only bought 100 of them is I had to meet that order for that. And if they sucked, I was really going to be pissed. But they ended up being pretty decent. And, you know, you saw the little area that I'm working on.
Yeah, so you got these custom cases. So at the end of the day, they're just GPU server cases. Just your typical sheet metal with fans and such.
Yep.
And then your motherboard, I think yours ended up being 9 GPUs is what we looked at.
9 GPUs.
And yeah, somebody in chat asked about it. Yeah, the 3060Ms, I can't remember if those were 12 gigabytes or 16. I think they were 12 and the 3070Ms were 16.
Well, I did buy some of the 3070.
Did you?
Too,
okay.
Yeah. So I bought a lot of both of them.
That's awesome.
We'll just say that, but enough to fill up that.
Yeah, and then you got, those are 9 card on the motherboard there. And those are just typical, like that. I can't remember, that motherboard isn't anything special, right?
No.
Like they're just your typical
RAM, the hard drive, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a riserless motherboard.
Yep.
Those of you guys familiar, yep.
Yep, what
was the memory on those motherboards? Was it like 16 gigabytes or something, or 8 gigabytes?
No, I have different memory for them.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is, but it's I want to say 64 maybe.
Oh, that's right, because you got these because of the fact that it would support more RAM slots for your rig. Okay, and then I think the CPU was the CPU something beefy or was like?
Yeah, it was beefier.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, we've got it. I actually asked Davey and Alex. I said, give me an idea. I kind of put it together and says, does this sound like something that'll work? And if everybody wants that, I'll post it for them so that they can check it out.
Yeah.
I don't mind spending money, but like I looked at the Octo server and the thing is absolutely flipping gorgeous. Like.
Yep.
The setup is just amazing, but it's expensive. You know what I mean? And you can do because
you sound like a home miner, Dan.
Yeah, and what I wanted to do was figure out, okay, institutionally, folks can definitely use those Octo miners or build racks. You know, like we talked about the racks that didn't necessarily have a case to them, open air scenarios, and all that kind of shit. So, you know, in the end, I wanted to do it like you guys were doing it. You know what I mean? I wanted to go out and save my money, pinch my pennies, build the infrastructure up, and you know, I'm very blessed to be able to buy the cards that I did. All those graphics cards and the motherboards and the cases will all be available in the Flux store. We wanted to get that launched like 2 weeks ago, but with proof of use of work, we've just been like,
well, those motherboards will be really nice because I know, like, as a home miner and as the community, we look at it and we're looking at like, okay, like what can we put in these server cases? You know, riserless motherboards, perfect, but it's like it's hard to find those that support beefier memory.
Yeah,
because most of those are 8 gigs. You know, you go on Amazon right now, you find one, it's 8 gigs type of deal. And then the processor is nothing. It's like your little dinky little Celerons and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, those are built for GPU mining specifically. So this will be a little bit different. So that'll be cool that that'll be available in there. And then will most of that stuff in the store, that'll ship directly from China?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we
got it.
We ended up forming a partnership with a gentleman over there, and he does pretty much everything. So drop strips straight to you. The nice thing about it is we won't necessarily suffer from the same constraints. Prices are good, availability is good.
Okay.
So, you know, we're not going to run into a bull market here where everybody's scrambling for gear and they can't find it. So
that'll be nice. Yeah, definitely.
At least that's the hope. If we sell what he's got, we've done pretty damn well for the
nice. That's cool.
So I think we're in pretty good shape there. So that's awesome. Excited to get it tuned up, excited to get it going. December 15th, proof of use of work hits the market. And I've got some, when we get ready, I got some bullet points that I want to share.
No, please go for it. So I'm going to ask you, what does December 15th mean?
Yeah.
So like you say to me right now, you're like, okay, proof of useful work launches. Well, what actually occurs? So, because you know us miners, you know, that's where our mind goes right away. We're like, what actually is occurring on December 15th?
Let me take a look here.
Yeah, you tell me.
I'll break it down for you.
I like it. I like it. And if you guys have questions, just at me in chat, and I will ask those questions.
This is kind of like leaky too, because some of this stuff you guys don't even know about yet. These are things that we've been working on.
Okay.
You know, behind the scenes. I'm putting my feet up.
You go for it. You're good.
Get comfortable here.
Get comfortable.
So in a nutshell, December 15th release, you'll be able to access mining, multiple coins, and custom mining as well.
That's within Flux Core.
Within Flux Core.
Okay.
Right. Overclocking configurations for miners, default, and yes, you can tweak those GPUs for better performance.
Okay.
So you will have the ability to do your overclock settings and so on and so forth right inside of Core.
Perfect.
Or Flux.
So how are we going to get Core? So like, give me the rundown. December 15th hits.
Yep.
Hobbyist
download link. It'll be live on the website.
Okay.
You go in, you click it, you download it, you install it, you're ready to rock and roll.
Okay. So what does that install process look like? And I'm not talking more technical side, just like, okay, I download it. How do I get it onto my GPU server case, like what we were talking about there?
You download it on that particular rig. So
got it. Okay.
I would say a lot of people will probably experiment with a rig to start with. We're gonna have Windows, and Jeff Key can correct me if I'm wrong, or Alex in the chat. But we are going to have shit. What was I even saying?
Well, so that'll start. So downloading it, that'll start. Is day one?
It's a Windows. It's like a
day one is Windows.
Yeah,
it's an installer.
Windows.
Okay. Now I know there's a Linux. I know there is a Linux too.
Yeah, we'll have a Linux distribution at some point. That probably won't come out day one, but it'll definitely be out there.
Okay, so for people watching, you want to have your rig ready with Windows installed on it,
ready to rock and roll.
Drivers updated on it.
Yep.
Ready to rock and roll. Have it bare bone. You know, and then You'll be able to go on the Flux Core or Flux's website, download it, install it, and run it. Okay,
it's
perfect.
Super simple. If I can do it, and I installed it on one of my 90-car rigs just for shits and giggles, and it was so simplistic. The only problem I ran into is those M cards have little driver idiosyncrasies.
Correct. Yeah, the M's are different.
I had to get a little bit of a different driver for it, but other than that, it went well.
And then to manage it, I believe, and I've seen multiple different versions of this. To manage it, you'll be able to go to your desktop PC and go to the IP address, and there's something at the end, and then you'll view it just like a dashboard. Perfect. Okay. So you won't need a screen, keyboard, mouse, all of that hooked to it.
No.
Okay.
I mean, ultimately, we want a single pane of glass.
Yep.
So whether you're running, proof of use of work, you're running your nodes, you're mining, you've got ASIC management you need to do, we want it all in one pane of glass.
Okay.
So really, it brings everything back to center. And it's miners that have built this. So it's built with miners, in mind as we start to roll it out. You'll be able to start your benchmarking process. You'll be able to access the leaderboard as well. So, when the 15th hits, we'll have like pre-queued jobs that basically we'll be live out of the gate on the 15th. You'll be making money.
Now here's the question: what jobs are they? Like proof of useful work jobs?
Yeah. We've got a whole host of stuff that we're going to be doing.
So okay, I got to ask, what changed between now and Cipher Punk? Because Cipher Punk was really proof of useful work Q3, Q4. Now we're getting, proof of useful work was Q3 maybe. Now it sounds like, December 15th. Just all the dominoes fell into place.
What is it? Under promise, over deliver.
Okay. So, I'm not complaining.
No, I don't think. I mean, and honestly, we don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Because I think a lot of the things that we're going to find with these things is input from the folks that are doing this, and they're going to be able to basically guide us with what needs to be changed. So we don't want to get it all the way to the final short strokes and then be like, oh yeah, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. So we're going to do what Flux has always done, and we're going to do it incrementally. We're going to do it. Right. You'll be able to apply for AI rendering test. This is not automatic to control the rollout for influx, no pun intended, of people. Multiple rigs named under one account, SSH access to your rigs.
Okay.
Mine multiple coins on one rig or multiple mine to different pools. So be able to split that across a different location. Easy mining options. So for the newbies, you just come in, hit easy mine, and basically just goes out.
Lets it do its own thing.
Done.
Got it. Okay.
Done. Yeah, and then what we're really targeting for folks.
So really, you could run that on like
gaming PC.
And your day-to-day desktop PC. You can run it. Okay.
We really are launching this for anybody that even has any type of GPU to be able to be tapped for useful work and get paid.
Okay. By the way, guys, I see your questions. We'll get to them after Dan's done here.
Mining calculator will be built in. Nice and easy to use. A dashboard with overview of your mining, shows all your rigs, all the GPUs for each coin you set. Account management overview of your rewards, mining, proof of use of work, Flux node, wallet manager, and other methods for payments. Managing nodes, 2FA, Google accounts will be you'll be able to log in via Google.
Oh, for Flux Core.
Not super impressed with that, but the guys talked me into it, whatever. I guess if we got to get the newbies in there somehow. Default themes, organizational setup. So if you and I want to work together in an organizational container, we can set it up together.
Sick. So they talked about this, guys, at Cipher Punk.
Misfit miners can all have their own little group.
So what you can do if you guys are trying to figure out like how this actually works and you didn't watch all the Cipher Punk presentation stuff. So this is very much like back in the day where you could go ahead and what did they call these back in the day? But pretty much you guys are calling them organizations. So you can get a handful of your buddies together and pretty much combine all of your resources to make your total organization be more attractive.
Decentralized proof of use of work mining farm.
Yeah, that's awesome. So and then the nice thing is that was more attractive when it comes down to those proof of useful work jobs.
Hell yes.
Because now you got that. That's pretty
bigger
sick.
Footprint. You're going to be higher on the leaderboard. You'll
nice.
Be good scenario.
Nice.
So what we're trying to do is really work toward building a deeper community with all miners.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what you're mining. It just matters that you're mining, right? And that's what we're working on. Multi-language support, organizational setups, team setups, default currency manager, from anywhere. Yes, even your rigs. Auditing, if added to check. Does this mean that you have other people manage your rigs? Yes, business opportunity. So if you don't want to necessarily manage your rigs, and like for me, I want to hire somebody else to do it, they're going to be able to get in and take care of it.
So what he's talking about here is like all you scrubs that let Rodney go in and configure your GPU mining rigs. Yeah, he'll be able to do this. Yeah. I'm talking about half the YouTubers out there. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Rodney, hit me up, bro. This one's a leak and one we hadn't talked about before.
Okay, give it to me.
And this is a pretty big one, too.
Heard it here first. Here we go.
Here first. AMD support from day one.
Whoa, that's huge.
Yeah. So
damn, I'm gonna put my 6700 XTs to work.
The only thing that we may not be able to tap right away is the AI bit, because we have to work out some pieces.
Yeah, because that's that whatever that's called that utilizes that. Yeah.
Yep. And I can tell you right now, I've seen it working myself, so it's pretty amazing.
That's
big
great.
Shout out to Alex and Davey for making that happen.
Good job, Alex.
Hard.
And Davey.
Mining is a module. Yes, you are building out the software to be modular, so you will have opt in to use that. So modular mining is what it's called.
Okay.
So other modules will be added later on. Flux nodes will be there, so you can manage your Flux nodes out of that, tied into your either your SSP or your core wallet.
Okay. That's right, because that was on the left-hand side of Flux Core.
Yeah.
Was that? Yep.
And here's another leak.
All right.
Cirrus nodes.
Oh.
So we're going to be deploying Cirrus nodes.
So what is that for those that don't know?
Cirrus nodes is essentially allowing anyone that has 5 Flux to deploy a Cirrus node. And basically...
Oh, this is that 5 Flux one.
Yeah, the 5 Flux.
Nice.
And then you basically set up a node and you're ready, you're idle. And if you get tapped for edge compute or AI or something of that nature, you'll get paid for it.
Guys,
so super simple to get
Flux.
into. 5 Flux.
By the way, I'm turning up a Nimbus node this week. I'm excited for that. Hell yeah.
Get it, man. Get it.
But that's great. Yeah, I know we had heard about this forever ago. And I know a bunch of people were excited about that for like the Raspberry Pis for like 5 Flux, whatever. But you might as well just add it to that rig, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So then that can be on the same rig as you're doing everything else on. Very cool.
Yep. We'll also be deploying Fractus nodes across the board. So every node will be a Fractus node at that point. So that's another little leak. And we will have services available. So you'll be able to not only be a provider, but you'll also be able to consume the compute as well. Okay. So you'll be able to tap in immediately almost out of the gate. You'll be able to tap into AI rendering. Oh, so from edge compute, whatever. So so
from a customer perspective of Flux's Proof Useful Work,
it'll be ready to rock and roll.
Marketplace is ready to go.
Yep, with fiat onboarding, so that if I want to deploy something and use AI or whatever, I can just pay in cash, so to speak. Dirty fiat.
Dirty fiat.
And then there's another one that's a bit of a leak. It's called Proof of Useful Work Lite. So we have the full companion suite tied with core wallet, SSP integrations, the whole 9 yards. And Proof of Useful Work Lite will allow you to run Jupyter Notebook on the cloud network as well. So that'll basically give you an AI rendering opt-in, but not everybody's going to get it day one. Okay. So we'll have to take our time with that. So a lot more coming.
Damn.
Than what we had thought about. So I mean, and it's
that's a lot for December 15th.
December 15th.
I thought, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I thought Dan was gonna be like, all right, so Dan, you started to get into it. You're like, all right, Flux Core and overclocking, And I'll be honest, I was a little hesitant that Proof Useful Work wouldn't be available December 15th.
Oh my God!
But you're not.
Man.
But you're not even.
We always deliver.
But you are even more than that. You even got AMD involved. Oh, that's awesome.
Well,
sounds good.
We like to. We like to.
That's awesome.
We like to let people, be part of the journey, but at the same time, we like to drop things from time to time that are just like, we're not ones out there pumping.
Sure.
Oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. We're telling you what we're doing, and we're going to deliver.
That's great.
And I think that's the best way for it. So.
No, I think that's huge. So what made you announce this after Cipher Punk versus at Cipher Punk?
Well, I think I wanted to share something with the community because, there was the people that came to Cipher Punk, they got a lot of value add, right? So I wanted to hold some of these pieces close to the vest till I could do something like this and sit and talk to the community and let them be participatory in it. Because without the community and what they've been doing and engaging with us, we wouldn't be where we're at. You know what I mean? Yeah. We wouldn't have the wherewithal or the mindset to critique the product when I say critique, constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Because there's always that destructive criticism out there. But that's why I wanted to hold it for an event like this where I could tell the community.
Well, thank you for talking about it now.
The other thing is I wanted to make sure it effing worked.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's super important. I mean, you see those companies out there that release these items and talk about them. Hey, we're going to release this, and then it's just a shit show day one. Yep. So it's good to know that that's the case there. So, okay, cool. And so for those of you guys not familiar, last time we were here, we talked about this. You can set your rig. I could be mining 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿𝐽.
Yes.
On my rig, I have the box checked for proof of useful work.
Yes.
And what will happen is your rig will pivot off of 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿𝐽.
That's correct.
Off of that chain. It'll do the job, and that job could take a day. That job could take a month.
Yes.
And then it'll pivot back to 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐽, and you'll get paid out in Flux.
Yes. And you're talking about roughly 10 times what you would normally take.
10 times.
Make it on the chain. And it could be even higher than that.
Man, I'm going to be
like,
Nimbus noted.
I'm not going to overpromise something.
No, sure.
But like I tell people, I said, okay, so.
By the way, guys, keep bringing your questions. I'm going to get to them, I promise.
You know, what ChatGPT spends the better part of $700,000 a day in compute resources. Now, if you take a fraction of that, you know, the overflow from, let's say, X or ChatGPT, Bard, any of these products that need the additional resources, and you isolate those things, the cost of that product is going to be much greater than that 10x that we're talking about. So it's going to basically be an ongoing average. So if you get tapped for a particular job that's a hefty job, you're going to make bank. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Like, and that's the way that it should be, because you're providing an on-demand service for fractions, pennies on the dollar in terms of compute resources.
Oh, versus what they would pay.
Yeah, but if they can get it.
So what type of work do you guys have in the pipeline now? Like, what type of work can people, I mean, okay, back up real quick. What type of is it necessary? Like, what type of transparency will there be for that work? Like, when my rig gets called to proof of useful work, what does it give me any details at all? Not that I need it.
100%.
So what
you'll see what it's doing.
Okay.
You'll see how long it's going to be there.
Okay.
You'll see your estimated income.
Wow.
You know, and plus too, you can choose if a job doesn't meet your criteria, you want to stay in line. Those rigs I'm buying, I'm not mining on any of those rigs.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Just standby. That's all they're doing.
So they barely will be running, pretty much sleep mode is what it sounds like.
Sleep mode.
And then when the job's available, it kicks off.
So, and in the next question, everybody's going to say, well, why wouldn't you mine?
Yeah.
Well, it's not on proof of use work, because you can book basically an entire cluster. And if somebody books my entire farm, I'm getting paid way outside of that. So what happens?
You got some work to do, young man, on your farm. I'm telling you now.
I know, right? What happens is if, okay, hypothetically, say a job comes in and it takes half my farm, and you know, and in comes another job that could have took my entire farm.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense to at least to me, is just to kind of stay the course and wait for the useful work.
Now, isn't there? I think I remember you talking about.
But I'll probably be mining too, just playing around.
Yeah, let's be honest here. I think I remember you guys talking about at Cipher Punk. There's some type of like job board or something, right? That you can jump
leaderboard,
on?
yeah.
Okay.
You get your whole marketplace, and you get your dashboard, you get your leaderboard.
Why a job board? Wasn't there something like a job board that you can opt in to like, oh, I want my rig to be on that?
Yes, I think I have a picture of it.
Yeah, because I remember they talked about it in Cipher Punk where it was like there's a job board available. So like you could opt your rig into that, and it may require X amount of compute in order to actually perform it. And then once it has it, it kicks off, is what I remember.
Yeah, looks kind of like, that's not true. Davey, send me a picture of the job board, please.
That'll be cool. That's
awesome.
awesome.
And then you have your leaderboard as well and all your other components. So really, okay, so this is the premise. Like, this is proof of use work it's a 6-year-old concept. It's what we thought about when we came into the mining space in Flux. And you know, what it comes down to is we want to gamify mining essentially. So, you know, most of the people that are involved in mining, they want their business model, they want profitability, they want on demand to be able to switch profit switching, so on and so forth. But they also, part of it's a little bit of a competition as well.
Yeah, sure.
You know, we have fun doing that. You know, who's doing what and how. And this is a great way to showcase that. So I can
now,
already tell you.
The leaderboard doesn't do anything other than provide like, okay, here's like your top leaders, or is there actually an incentive to be on that leaderboard?
There will be an incentive to be
I know it.
on the leaderboard. You'll also see your top jobs that are being done.
Okay.
And you can also see what those top jobs are yielding.
Okay.
So it gives you like motivation to get into the, top 250 or top 300.
Damn, Dan, I gotta buy some rigs, brother.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about it is you don't necessarily have to have a shit ton of rigs to be.
I just want more
in the leaderboard because teams building your teams out is building your farm.
So is teams the same as organization, or no?
It's creating an organization.
Okay,
so you got organizational management, then you can do teams as well.
Everybody's going to join the Hobbyist Miner organization. I'm just saying now, just have some big giant.
Well, think of it this way: proof of use of work pools.
Yeah,
is essentially what it is.
That's what it was. I was trying to remember.
Pooling your resources.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that lets people not have a decentralized mining farm.
Yeah.
We're all coming together. We're going to be in queue. We're going to be on the leaderboard. We're ready to rock and roll with work. So
that'll be cool.
I think it will be. I think it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. You ready for some questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so guys, at me for the questions. I got plenty in the pipeline here. Custom computing. Or actually, no, I jumped the gun. Here we go. Crypto takeover. Will Flux have an AI app store? So I think he's more speaking from. Okay, go ahead.
100%. We'll have a marketplace that really is geared toward anyone that needs to deploy infrastructure. So they can go on, they can rent, a rig for an hour. They can, submit a job that's going to take 10 days. They can do anything. And they're basically going to, again, single pane of glass. Everything's going to kind of move through this one workflow. So this is what I need. This is a job I need. What's the time that you need it? Now, clearly, if I'm running more infra, right, more graphics cards, it's going to be more expensive than I don't give a shit when it gets done. I have this, I have this video I need to render. It can be tomorrow. It can be whenever, okay? You're going to pay a cheaper rate. So it's almost like a sliding scale for the on-demand.
Well, yeah, because the sooner you need it, the more expensive it's going to be.
It's going to be. You pay for it. So you'll be able to see every job that's been through the pipeline, every job, what it yielded, who got it on the board, so you'll be able to track, your own rig, so on and so forth. But what it does for the customers is it really puts everything in one place for them. So we made it.
This is big.
We made it's fucking huge.
This is big.
It's huge.
This is big. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So, long story short is we built it so that there was really two silos.
Okay.
The user base, who's actually going to use the technology, and the providers who are going to provide it.
Which GPU miners are providers here.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, cool. So question here from Custom Computing. Is the new Flux OS, which is called Flux Core, going to be the full dashboard access to all your rigs you can register like 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿? So it has some similarities to 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿 and some differences. So why don't you kind of give us, how does it relate to 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿?
So we're gonna work with 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿 to get some integrations in those pieces as well. I don't think this. I think the 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿 is kind of geared toward a different clientele.
Yep.
This isn't. I could see where you could do your deployments directly within 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿, manage your rigs in 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿, still have it reporting back to the console. So those things are all in the pipeline. NiceHash is another one. We're going to use profit switching there as well, because people are going to want that as
especially within Flux Core. Like
if they're going to mine and then wait for proof of use work, they want to mine what's most profitable, or they want to mine specifically. If there's a piping hot S coin out there that they want to get, you know what I mean? So they can set it up either way. So it gives them the flexibility to really manage.
I'll be honest, I'm excited. As a GPU miner, I am not thrilled about Windows, but I understand the stepping stone. What is your timeline for the Linux side? Because if you guys are not familiar, this will be supported on Linux. So that's what Hive runs on. Is it you have Linux and then you have your app layer on top of it. So is that, what do you think, 6 months?
Well, that's what Flux OS runs with.
Correct.
So, it's not a huge jump or deviation from that.
What's an estimated gray timeline here?
I
Windows to Linux.
Davey might beat my ass, or Alex if they're on there, but I think you're probably going to see it within 6 months.
6 months, perfect.
Yeah, 6 months, maybe 8, depending on how much issues we run into in launch.
Yeah, because I think the biggest challenge is, as you know, as a GPU miner, and is Windows is just not stable. from a mining perspective. It's not easy to manage. So I'm excited. Listen, I'll take the Windows to get started, but I'm excited for the Linux.
I think you'll be pleased with this.
Okay.
You know, and the other thing is why is it not stable? Why is Windows not stable for mining?
Because of all the bloatware and crap and junk.
Bloatware, crap, junk, and the fact that we as miners want to tweak the shit out of everything to the point where everything becomes unstable.
You know what? Here's my ask. Here's my ask. Alex, I know you're probably not listening, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. My ask is Alex comes out with or you guys come out with best practices of things to change, remove, or adjust on that Windows side.
That'd be good.
And if Alex can batch it, so you just double click on that first, then you install Flux Core, bam. That would be awesome. Installs all the bloatware, removes all these settings, things like that. Yeah. Because I think the biggest, here's where I put it. That proof of useful work job is going to be very contingent on the stability of that operating system. That operating system is like this, up and down. Now it affects your quality of product.
Well, I think the reason why 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐽 has been so successful is it is basically a hands-off console.
100%. Yep.
So, and I think I think you could see the same kind of setup with Core at some point. Flux Core. So, you know, I think it'll all.
Yeah. Just a thought.
You know,
just a thought
boot it up and run it. You know, throw it on your flash drive, and you know,
off you go. All right, cool. Geek of all trades. Will this be able to run on virtualization day one, or is it a bare metal only for now? So
VPS versus bare metal.
Correct, versus an actual physical machine. Or is it not really going to differentiate? It's just going to look at the resources and
it's going to look at the resources and it'll run directly whatever those resources are.
Okay,
so,
cool.
I mean, I would assume that it would work on VPS. That's one that I can look into.
But it will have to require Windows,
Yeah, but it's going to require Windows.
Okay, so we'll circle back to it. Sounds good. What about PCIe lanes? Not as important anymore. This came from Eric. So last time you and I met, it was here actually, which is really funny. This is going to be our launching pad for all big Flux, events is right here.
Yeah.
We talked about PCI lanes, and at that point we were really pushing like X16 because we were like, hey, we needed it. But based off of like your rig rigs that you're building, is that PCI?
Depends on what you're using it for.
Okay.
Like, it's not every job that comes in is going to be baked the same.
Okay.
You know, some require a bigger oven than the others,
So in that regard, when we're looking at it, that job is really going to look at, like, what is that GPU on?
Yeah.
Is it just an X1 slot or is it an X16 slot? So for those of you guys that have built a lot of these, like, vast rigs, let's say, workstation, I have one of those. Well, Veteran Miner has it now, but he's going to send it back. Big CPU, 2 CPUs on it, 128 gigs of memory, and it's got 1 or 2 GPU slots. Those are X16. So that's going to be used for something much different than an 8-card GPU mining rig.
Yeah, and I think you could definitely see Vast AI in the Flux marketplace as well. I think there'll be some super awesome chances. I mean, Akash is another one you could see. We just deployed on Dynex on Flux as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That went under the radar. Nobody
I saw that.
I was like, what the hell is this, man?
Yeah.
No, I don't care. It's good.
That's funny. Leave it to Davey, right?
Yeah, Davey, he loves doing stuff like that. But I think you could definitely see a lot of different platforms tied into the marketplace and using those marketplace functions.
Yeah. So I think Diaz, and I think you talked about this before, can we have on the same account some rigs on standby for AI work, which is proof of useful work, and others mining and could switch from mining coins to AI? That's exactly what this is going to happen.
Yeah, and I think you can do it down to the card.
Oh, really?
So if you got 7 cards on a rig,
you could have one just dedicated.
You could have 4 that are dedicated to idle proof of useful work,
sick.
And then the other 3 are mining.
That's sick. So,
Davey, correct me in chat if I'm wrong on that, but that's what we were doing the other day when we were down there. I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, I'm trying to catch up here. Man, Davey's like adding me. I'm like, gosh, hang on, trying to read chat. Let's see, 136 people. Say hi to 136 people.
Oh, wow, look at that. Good turnout, guys. Cheers to you.
I know, hell yeah.
Labatt Blue tonight, whereas what I'm rocking here.
I have, while we're waiting, we have Victory Golden Monkey. All right, let's catch up here. Will there be CPU mining modules? So it'll utilize CPU.
It can, yeah, and there will be some demand for CPU. That's not in phase 1, and that's something we'll have to look at long term. But there will be a demand for CPU.
Jeff just said Linux will work from the start.
All right, there you go.
What the hell, dude? Why'd you wait that long to tell me, Davey? All right, well, in that case, then, that's badass. I like it. That's huge. That is huge.
You didn't even tell me that.
Yeah, so I guess with the Linux, last I talked to Davey, and Davey, you'll have to correct me, was like, you'll have to install Linux on the machine and then run a command that then downloads the Flux Core and everything.
Probably that's how it goes, yeah.
Yep. It's all right. That's very cool. Not from the start, but yes, will be. Okay, what was Techman asking? Can I get paid in BTC instead of Flux for useful work? And 𝐿𝐸𝐿 actually responded, not from the start, but yes, it will be added.
Okay, so that's the cool thing. If you guys,
that's huge.
If you guys recently saw the change happening to 𝐿𝐸𝐿 is moving to Core Wallet.
To Core and a whole new look.
It's going to have a whole new look, a whole new feel, and the focus is to add basically every proof of work platform out there.
Okay.
So we'll still have some tokens in there and some NFTs and shit like that, but the focus is going to be directly driven for proof of use work. Part of that is to be able to use APIs to tie your Core Wallet back to your single pane of glass dashboarding. Okay. So you can see what's in my wallets, what's my portfolio, what do I need to concentrate on. But those APIs will also tie back to that platform for immediate exchange.
Wow.
So if you get paid in Flux, which you do for everything, doesn't matter what you do, you get paid in Flux. Now, if you're mining, you get paid in that asset. It goes directly to your wallet.
Yep.
But for proof of use of work, you get settled in Flux.
Yeah.
But if you want to get paid in BTC instead, you can have it automatically set a threshold to where it's 1,000 Flux, and it automatically sells it to BTC, lands in your wallet. And that won't be day one, but that'll be down the road. And that's really why we're doing what we're doing with 𝐿𝐸𝐿. Lots of people are asking that question, like, what does it mean for 𝐿𝐸𝐿? This is great for 𝐿𝐸𝐿 because it basically fixes a major issue. I hear at least 25 times a day about an asset that people want to see in 𝐿𝐸𝐿. If it's mineable and we can put it in 𝐿𝐸𝐿, we'll put it in 𝐿𝐸𝐿. It'll be there.
So Flux Drive, how does that come into play here at all? Well, will we be utilizing some of these rigs for storage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna. One of the other things that, and we haven't talked about this either, is the fact that we'll be starting to deploy products like Filecoin and storage on Flux as well.
Okay.
And start tapping into their infrastructure. So what the Flux Drive and Flux Drive Pro does is really give you a go-to storage location for your files.
Dropbox. It's Dropbox.
Yeah, it's Dropbox on steroids.
So
right?
in that case, there, I actually had this as one of my notes. There was so with Flux Drive, biggest concern people go to is privacy.
Yes.
So anything that's stored on Flux Drive, is that encrypted in some way?
It's an IPFS.
Okay.
And it's sharded.
I'm going to take that from you, so stop snapping
the
microphone.
Sorry.
Man,
sorry.
keep it in line.
Okay. So it basically is on Flux IPFS, and we're working on our privatized Dockers now as well.
Okay.
So ultimately, privacy is number one.
Yeah, sure.
And the only way you're getting to that data is if you're signing into that portal with your Zelle ID.
Okay.
And then you can see your files. You're the only one that can see those files.
Got it. Okay. And I think that's the biggest one is like where we go to is like, I am all for finding a replacement for Dropbox for a fraction of the cost, as well as it's decentralized, which is awesome. And that was my next thought, was like privacy. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, we banned all of the people that work on the project from using any Google, any Microsoft products, anything. I mean, you have to use Office at this point. We don't have Flux Office yet, but you have to be able to use it for everything. So that, and we're doing really well with it. I mean, so if we can use it and it's working for our business, we got 70+ people that are tapping into it some way, shape, or form. And I think then that's a positive for people who want to do it out there as well.
That's awesome. That's cool. And then Flux Drive, when does all of that launch? I think you had talked about.
It's already launched.
It's already launched, ready to go? Okay.
Flux Drive is up and running, comes out of beta in Q1 of next year with WordPress. And the Flux API launched the other day, which allows you to store your NFTs. And a matter of fact, the Titan watches were the first one to get added.
I saw that recently. I was actually going to wear mine tonight. And then literally I'm sitting here and like, gosh, where's my watch? I don't have it on.
Yeah, so we're going to do the Flux NFTs, the Titan NFTs were the first ones to go there. But what it does is it provides, you can check it out, the Hypersense store. If you go to the Hypersense store and you put in Flux Titan, it'll pull up all the NFTs there in the marketplace, which is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man.
So, and that's already rolling, dude. So,
that's cool.
I mean, that's already live. We're happy with it. That'll be a revenue generation source for the project as well, because those APIs will be able to be sold to individuals that are building out, infrastructure for, very cheap.
That's awesome. So between now and December 15th, we're going to get your farm up and running?
You're asking for a lot.
I know I am. Trust me.
Let's shoot for half of it, and then we'll see.
I like it. I like it.
If anybody wants some part-time work to come help deploy rigs, I'm hiring.
That's right.
I pay in pizza, beer, cigars, bourbon.
Sold. Okay, so we had the Flux snapshot, BTC flat snapshot was just the other day. And you had talked about that. I was listening to the Flux fireside chat. Why was that one so difficult? Why was Bitcoin so difficult for some of the other ones?
Because it's never been done before.
Okay.
Like literally never been done before.
Yep.
We'll be the very first platform to ever be tied into BTC like that,
Okay.
And bottom line, I think it changes. It aligns. It puts Flux in the direct. It puts Flux in the history books of BTC because we're the first ones to be doing something like that.
It's huge.
We kicked the idea around. We looked at multiple different ways to do it, and then along comes Taproot. And Taproot brings out
familiar. What's Taproot?
So Taproot is basically a protocol that helps to scale BTC.
Okay.
And you can do, it ties with ordinals and a whole bunch of other shit. So I'll give a better description.
Dude, ordinals have been crazy recently.
They just passed.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, ordinals are a big deal.
I interviewed a guy at Mining Disrupt behind some of the Bitcoin ordinals, and it was crazy just to hear like how much it's speeding up that network entirely, which is nuts. So a question behind that was, when will the Flux BTC snapshots be paid out? What's the...
No idea.
No idea. All right, there you go.
The problem with, doing something like Flux BTC like that is the technology. We're basically built as Taproot's releasing their products and building. Okay. We're coming behind that and building that first layer of infrastructure. So
it's never that long though. I mean, it's traditionally within like the snapshot, and then a few weeks, it seems like.
This is going to be months.
Really, months? Okay.
Yeah, at least months.
Okay.
And the reason being because we have to work on building it out. So don't plan on converting it all to Flux and deploying more nodes.
There's so many.
Not yet.
There's so many GPU miners, honestly, I know, that have no clue about the snapshots and about redeeming them, and they just mine Flux, and then not realizing like, holy shit, you have thousands of Flux out there.
And we've done.
Oh my god!
And this is why
it's insane.
This is why in that Flux Core, having that mining calculator and that profitability calculator will be the true testament to what you're actually going to make.
Okay.
Because right now what we're doing is we're relying on input models into like what's the mining thing? What to mine?
What's mine?
Everybody goes in, they plug their cards in, it brings it up. That's not a truth tale for every one of those
that
things.
And hashrate.no, yeah.
So, for us, having that holistic calculator, if I get tapped for proof of use to work, if I mine this coin, what's most profitable, what's the profit switching look like, so on and so forth. So it goes away from being like, I took input and put it in, and then it gives me estimated, rate of return depending on hash power fluctuations. This is going to give you a real-time snapshot, plus it's going to benchmark against everything else with your particular platform. So it's going to say for you to make the most money, proof of work, this is proof of work, this is, what coin you should mine. If you want to, use profit switching, you can do that, So it really brings all the tools to one place. You're not going to have to flip between 15 different things to figure out what you want to mine.
So on the leaderboard side, and this reminded me of it, and where I think most of my audience goes, because I think there's this big question mark right now in the community, and we really won't know until it launches. But on the leaderboard side, are we going to be able to look at like the rigs of those leaders to see like, okay, because that's where I think a lot of people go is like, what are the leaders running that is making them the most money? Because I think that's where we will go. It's like, what CPUs are people running? What GPUs? Because I think that will help solidify, like,
dude,
the entire.
Do you know how the leaderboard the idea of the leaderboard came around?
How to?
It was actually.
I do not. Enlighten me.
Okay, so the leaderboard came around because I used to play World of Warcraft.
Okay. Like,
and there was a platform.
Order Alliance.
Okay, there was Alliance.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, it's okay. Keep going.
I know.
Somebody had to do it, guys.
Yeah, I know.
In chat, Alliance or Horde? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Alliance. I was a mage. I rolled a mage in arcade.
I was a mage first. Yep.
Wow.
Frost mage. So first account years ago.
So you would go to it was called the WoW Armory.
Yeah.
And you could see the leaders on the server, and of course you got gear score rankings at each particular area. I said, what if we gamify this and we do the exact same thing, but instead of having characters, you have your equipment. And you have your gear and what you're doing. So people can go into those leaderboards.
So it's pretty much the WoW Armory, but for the hardware.
Yeah. So we go down and we say, okay, here's Dan Keller. Here's what he's running. Here's his profitability. Okay, how can I change things to look a little bit like
because that's going to... People ask the question, like, the community, I know you, I'm you, where it comes down to, like, what hardware do I need to do really well? And I think the nice thing is like, all that's going to become visible once this kicks off and that leaderboard's available.
That leaderboard's going to be a game changer.
That'll be huge. That'll be huge. Digital Apollyon says, why are you both so devilishly handsome?
Oh, my God.
Well, thank you.
I like that guy. A+ for you, sir.
All right, let's see here. I'm not sure what this is, but Tane's asked, Hypersense Store. I don't know what Hypersense is.
Yeah, so we'll be available. The NFTs. So they will be available in the marketplace. So if I have a Titan watch that I want to put up for auction, we had one that we did for charity. So we actually gave that #1 Titan watch to one person. We raised $5,500 for for Animals in Need, Code Like a Girl, a couple other projects as well. So you'll be able to put your watch in that marketplace, and you'll be able to sell it directly from the marketplace as well. So
that's cool.
Very cool. It takes it to a different level. And you know, we're not stopping with watches either, by the way. Right, guys? There's other things coming. So
yeah, that'll be
good
huge.
Stuff.
I'm excited. I'm excited. If you guys are into watches, December, I'll have a video coming out going down to Tesa, which will be awesome.
Yeah.
So question here, same guy who called us handsome. Any update when KDA updating issues with Zelcore will be resolved?
Yeah, we're working on it right now, and there was some issues there.
I had the issues, so I fully understand.
Yeah, and guys, you know, I'll be the first to tell you, we got work to do with Zelcore. You know, with proof of use
work. Why are we doing it?
Proof of use work. Yeah, and we didn't want to, you know, essentially there's going to be a brand new product. It's going to be Core. It isn't going to be like Zelcore 3.5 or 4.0. It's going to be a new product. And so a lot of the input that you guys have, the updating, what was the other thing? There's a fee issue. The exchanges were not optimal. You know, the fees are a little high.
Will the new Core have, I know you guys are talking about Fusion, like the Fusion 2, like that gas station model. Mm-hmm. Will that be in the new Core?
Yeah, so we'll be working to it.
Cool.
And the other thing too that'll be in the Core is we'll start adding additional Fiat on and off ramps. So we recently inked a partnership with Uphold, which is a nice little US-based company. Exchange. Yep. And they'll be tied in there as well, so you'll be able to do some transactions back and forth there as well.
That'd be great.
And you know, as soon as Coinbase gets off their ass and adds us, we'll be able to use that as well. Crypto.com will be added in there as well. So
I like it.
A little bit more, little bit more user friendly.
Bob Single says, "Sign me up. I'm in York." Bob, for helping. With your
hell yeah!
So Bob, here's what I'll tell you: hit me up on Discord, and then when Dan ties me, because I know he's going to ask me to come down and do it for him. With him, not for him. I'll make sure I hit you up. So hit me up in Discord, which will be awesome. Absolutely. Let's see.
We'll make a party out of it. Make videos. It'll be fun.
I think this came off the fact that we were talking about, like, with Dropbox and stuff. Has Flux Google Sheets, like Excel? You guys aren't looking to rebuild, like, Office Suite, right? All right. Whoa. All right. Yo, you know...
You don't necessarily have to rebuild it.
Yeah.
You just have to figure out a way to Dockerize the application and deploy it on the network.
Okay.
So there's a lot of
that look was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we just recently added a new deployment dev who is focused on some things that I want to see, like, almost immediately. And you know, I can share some. One we're working on right now is a private chat messenger client that runs on Flux.
That'd be cool.
So you know what I mean? Some encryption, end to end, maybe like I wouldn't say Signal. It's not that robust, but you know, it'll be different.
That's cool.
And we're hoping to get it tied into the blockchain as well. So that, you know,
will Caspa? This is from Brad. Will Caspa and Flux ever team up? I would assume, a parallel asset at some point down the road.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of growing room, and I think they have a lot of possibility. The biggest thing is, you know, figuring out how to scale their chain state without pruning, and because that's that's an issue for me. I don't necessarily like that, but I think they'll figure it out, and when they do, and they launch their smart contract platform, I absolutely can see a Flux 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐵 asset. Absolutely.
Okay.
I like that team too. They're really good guys. Again, congratulations to those guys. You know, nice growth over the past few months.
Are we at 8 cents yet? Let us know in chat. I know we were close.
Nah,
give it
15 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
The candle just closed, so I don't know where we're at here.
So Flux LOL. Do the parallel assets not auto pay you on Flux pools? I believe they do, right?
Yes. So the pools are responsible for paying the PAs. You know, all the pools that are saying they support PAs have to have them embedded in their structure.
And if you do that, then when you go to redeem your snapshot, you're not going to have anything. If you go to a pool, because what happens is a lot of those pools will front that. They'll pay you that Flux at the moment of mining. So if you're on something like Flux Pool, you're already getting that.
Just keep track of what you're mining. Make sure your payouts are correct.
Yeah.
And, you know, if the pools are keeping a fee, make sure it's a reasonable fee. And one leak that I'm going to give you too, and next year, and we're looking at Q2, Q3, is direct claiming. So it doesn't matter what pool you mine to.
Okay.
You'll be able to go in and direct claim off that. So that's a big deal, because then you don't have to necessarily utilize a pool with not necessarily worrying about them claiming your P. Like two miners, they don't even pay PAs.
Yeah.
You know.
So then what you do is when you go into 𝐶𝐲 and you do the snapshot.
You do your direct claiming, and then boom, you got your assets.
𝐿Forward Tech node collateral happening. Any timeline on that?
Well, we're at approximately 60% utilization
of the nodes. Okay.
And you know, we've got plenty of room to grow. I think you'll see a collateral happening probably next year, Q4. It could be Q1. It could be Q3 or 2, depending on how fast we build out the scale and deployments. So the nice thing about the collateral happening is it's kind of almost on demand. So as we see utilization.
More utilization.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, if we get to the point where we don't have enough resources to go around for deployments, then we're going to start working on scaling.
Okay, cool. Hawk donated $4.99. Those better be David Offs or Monte Cristos. Just saying.
These are one of my favorites. They're Ashton. So I like me a good Ashton. Plus,
I just smoke whatever Dan gives me. I'm going to be honest with you. I just show up. Cigar's ready to go.
I love me some Monte Cristos, there, buddy.
All right, let's see here. Catching up here. I'm not sure familiar with this. Check trophy. Can I use Tiny11 instead of Windows 11 for Flux Core? I'm not sure what Tiny11 is.
I don't know.
I wonder if that's like a stripped down version of Windows.
Oh, that'd be sweet if it is.
Yeah, I know there used to be like a Windows 10. What was that called?
Light or some shit,
and I mean that would be ideal, right?
Yeah.
Like it gets rid of a bunch of that. Yeah, that'll be cool. I wonder, as we get closer to the 15th, I'm gonna talk to Dan and Alex, and maybe I'll come up with like a guide to prep people.
So that shit's all gonna. The community's gonna go nuts.
Oh, exactly.
The content you guys are gonna generate is gonna be insane.
Maybe I'll come up with a guide as we get closer, guys, on like how to prepare for flux-proof useful work.
Yeah.
And it'll have like that Windows type of deal. I'll go through that. Yeah. I'll talk to you, Alex. I got you on DMs.
Yeah, the thing is we're giving you guys the tools, and we want to let you guys rip it up and create new things. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun watching what you guys come up with,
Yep. So this one, Amplifier Gaming, is there a website to see how much flux you earned from the most recent flux snapshot, other than going into 𝐶𝐲 and claiming?
Yes, there is. Go to Discord and ask what that app is. I can't remember who makes it, but there is one that monitors all your nodes and all your snapshots. And I don't think we listed... I think it's just listed as Bitcoin, and I don't think the actual amounts are there yet. That'll come probably here within the next few weeks. It'll show you what you're going to get for the snapshot.
Yeah.
But there is a nice little app somebody built, deployed it on Flux, and it's running on there. Now I use it to
Somebody said they think it's Second TL.
That's who it is.
Yep.
Second TL.
There you go. Cool. Absolutely. Yeah.
Good dude.
Check trophy. Hit me up on Tiny11. I'd love to test it. Because here's the deal. We can test it 100% because if that's going to take away all these issues we have with Windows and it'll work, what I'll do is check trophy, message me. I'll go ahead, boot it up and test it. And I'm telling Dan now, I'll get it from you guys to test it ahead of time.
Absolutely.
And we'll make sure it works. And then I can build that into my guide for the 15th. So it's like, here's a great way because, as I said before, the stability of these proof of useful work rigs are going to be critical for you guys. So it's going to create a better overall product.
Yep.
So if that's the case and it's free, like awesome, let's do it.
Uptime is king, guys.
Let's see. Custom Computing donated $5. Amazing content. Love the forum. How are clients going to rent out the AI? Do you guys already have a marketplace set up for this?
Yes. Yes, we do. And I believe we're releasing the marketplace the same time we're releasing proof of use of work, so they kind of go together with the leaderboard and so on and so forth. But kind of I alluded to this earlier, is we really are building two silos, one for the people that need compute resources. So they go in and they're running the computational resources to be able to do the things they need to do. And the other side, which is the providers of said resources. So, and we want them to be intertwined, but we also want them to have some separation, because what we don't want to do is overload our end users who are coming in to run that computer to make it feel like a blockchain product. We want them to feel like it's a standard technology-based product. It's easy, it's simple, it's what I use normally. It just looks a little different. And the backside is where, the magic happens. So something like that.
No, that'll be cool. So heads up, Hawk was telling me about this yesterday, so I'll mention it today. Terra Hosting has 1 month free on any Flux node for the next 6 days. Use promo code FLUXFreeNode. So if you guys want to test out turning up a Flux node, go to Terra Hosting. This is not for me, but go to Terra Hosting and use the code FLUXFreeNode. You can get a free Flux node for a month, which is awesome.
Yay!
Yay, more nodes. Let's go. Let's see. Diaz says here, with the release from beta of Fractus to all levels of nodes soon, when will we be seeing different levels of payments for the amount of hardware amount that we are providing?
As soon as the Fractus hits the other node.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be no lead time because it's been unbelievably stable since we released it on the first batch of nodes. It'll just be, I think, an easy plug and play.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and they'll automatically start their payout. And
that's awesome.
The next question would be logically, am I going to get paid more if I provide more infrastructure on different tiers? And the answer to that question is yes. So we started out with a base level so that we can get a gauge of exactly what we're doing for deployment, what we can utilize and how we can utilize it. And then we're going to ratchet it up as we meet different points. And I think there'll be probably 3 tiers on each one of those. Fractus will have, if you provide 60 gigs or, I don't know what the number is, but you get it, and then somebody provides 300 and somebody, provides whatever, each one will be paid at a different amount.
That's awesome. Very cool. So I'm going to offer this. This is me being generous because everybody's talking about nodes in chat. So Terra Hosting is offering 1 month free of a Flux node. Okay. I will pay for the second month for anybody, and Hawk hit me up after this. I'll pay for anybody's hosting fees for month 2.
And I'll pay for 3.
There you go.
So there you go. So we'll put it in. I like what Hawk's doing there. It helps.
So if you guys want to turn up a Flux node entirely free right now, go to terrahosting.io and use Flux Free Node. That'll take care of month 1. Month 2, Hawk, send me an invoice. I'll pay it for anybody that signs up right now. And then Dan will take care of month 3. Okay. So you guys will get 3 months free of a free Flux node. You heard it right here. All right, you like it?
Damn, I think I'm going to take it.
Terrahosting.io. Get on it right now.
Yep.
And you know what? The more you give, the more drinks you give Dan and I, and more cigars.
You may end up getting 2 years for free. Hawk was my bodyguard down there at the event.
Yeah, there you go. That's cool. That's cool. Hey, that was fun. That was a good time. So, guys, we're going to go for 20 more minutes. That'll put us at 8 o'clock.
Well, I'm going to use the restroom real quick.
Go for it. I'm going to hang out here. That's what happens.
I don't want to be in there taking a leak and having everybody listen to me.
There you go. Make sure you mention. What's that? What, you guys don't want to hear him peeing?
Nobody wants to hear me peeing.
And on the bottom, and then the blue lights will go. There you go. You're good. Nobody needs to hear you peeing.
No, you don't need to hear
So anyways, guys, reach out to Hawk, and he'll take care of all you guys. Yep. Yeah. You guys have to provide the flux. Exactly, Tanes. Thank you for specifying. But the hosting fees, we'll take care of. So I got month 2, and Dan's got month 3. Hawk, go ahead and just honestly spam it. Honestly. Spam it. If you got a link, Discord, whatever, just spam it up. We'll take care of you, brother. I like it. Damn. Dude, there's a lot of really good information about Proof Useful Work coming out tonight. Honestly, I did not know any of this stuff. Like, I did not know any of this was coming up, which is awesome. I'm so thrilled about, Proof Useful Work. Damn, dude, I'm going to be, so I was telling him, like, I'm going to be buying more rigs now. I am curious on those motherboards, though, because riserless motherboards that support 64 gigabytes of memory, and then on top of that has a decent processor, and it's not just like a shitty Celeron. That's crazy. That's crazy. I got you, Hawk. I got you, brother. Yeah, I got to, we'll see here. I'm going to be turning up a Nimbus node this week, so I'm excited for that. That'll be cool. That's like 12,500 flux. But yeah, that'll be sweet. So yeah, guys, we're going to go for 19 more minutes. So please post any questions you have at me in chat, please. Yeah, just hold the button down on the bottom, and then the lights will turn blue. So the Overboard Tech was saying in chat, the boards I think that you were talking about, that you were getting for your rigs, those are the China Dual X79s. Does that sound familiar?
Hell, I don't know.
You don't know. Alex, where are you at? Davey, where are you at? Give us the details. That's crazy.
Are we up to 6 months free yet?
No, not yet. I haven't given a name. We're still at 3.
I figured
we're good.
I figured when I walked out, we were already going to be up to that.
Not yet. Nope. It has to happen all before December 31st, so I can write it off as a tax write-off. So yeah, you got to do it before December 31st.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Let's do it.
All right. So Hawk says, if you buy a node on Hobbyist and Dan, please mention it in the notes in the order. Hobbyist, give me a limit on how many. I'll give you up to $1,000. How's that sound? Does that sound good?
I'll give you as many as people want to deploy.
All right. So month 3, as many as deploy. There you go.
I don't know.
I don't have red pen. I don't.
Wait a minute. Maybe I know there's somebody out there going like this.
I don't have red pen to mining money. Okay, come on now.
Yeah. Does anyone really have red pen to mining money?
Only if you got that Caspa miner like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
All right. The motherboard you mentioned. What's the PC? Do you know the PCI slots? Are yours X1?
Yeah.
On that motherboard. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, S. Chang. Good question. I like it. Let's see.
God, I love these chairs.
It's only because you've had a beer or your drink and you've had your
cigar. I'm feeling good. Talking to everybody about crypto. Love it.
I mean, personally, my thought is like where I go to is like I've been waiting honestly for today to decide to buy more GPU mining rig cases. Or do I buy more of the workstations? I'll probably end up buying more of that workstation, which does like the dual Xenon. It's like a 7810. It does 2 Xenon processors.
Yes.
And then does like 128 gigs of memory and like 1 GPU in it. That's probably the style I'll go with as a home miner. Yeah. Because then it's like beefy-ass CPUs. And then the 3060s is probably what I'll go with.
You can only put 1 card in that?
You could do 2. Shout out to the Veteran Miner, veteranminer.com.
I think that's where I saw it.
Yeah, actually. So what I did was I gutted that thing and I sent him everything with the 3070. And the only downside of those is it requires the proprietary Dell power supply. And he actually figured out a way in the wiring to do it with a typical ATX. So then you could build these into traditional GPU mining rigs.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, that is sick. Yeah, because they have the 2 Xeon processors and they support 128 gigs of memory.
Yeah, and shout out to Veteran Miner. Some of the best cables out there, guys. If you want a sexy ass rig, get his cables. Check them out. We'll also have those in the Flux store once it goes live, if it ever goes live. I'm hoping soon because of Proof of Use Work. Things have been a little delayed in that.
Oh, damn, look at this. So Kaiser comes out and says, I want in on this. I will send my autograph book to the first 10 people that sign up. What the Flux? Oh, for the Flux nodes.
Yeah.
So right now, if 10 people sign up, you get the book. By the way, Kaiser, can you send me one of your books, please? Hit me up on Discord. I'll send you I saw you. Did you have one? You got one. Yeah. I would like to get one.
It's going to be, it's a little bit short. It's perfect for me. because my ADD kicks in, and I'm like, I'm like trying to read, and I'm like, oh, look at that! I need to change the batteries in the smoke detectors, right? So it's nice because it's a little short story, and then this is part of a series. So there'll be, however many he's going to do.
Hey, Dan, I want an audiobook of you, the audiobook.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Sick.
Yeah, that would be
because I don't
cool.
do reading the books. Like, audiobook would be sick. Kaiser, make it happen.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Let's see here. What else we got?
And I promise not to swear in the audio.
That's right.
You hear me like
shit. I said that word wrong.
You hear
I'm sorry.
me like knock my beer over. Son of a bitch.
Yep. Question here from Anuar. When can we start utilizing Flux Drive Pro in DX?
It's available now.
Is it? Okay. Very cool.
Fire it up.
Very cool.
Yep, you're good to go.
I like it.
If you want to deploy anything on that, I think the best way to do it, we're working on the onboarding page right now, but we just turned somebody on today.
Okay.
You can just come in and you can just ask in Discord and we'll hook you up.
That's cool.
Once the deployment page is complete, then you just go in there, you'll get your API keys, and you'll be set.
So what kind of, I actually forgot I asked this question and then we pivoted. What type of work do you guys have in the pipeline for proof of useful work? Just so people know, like not necessarily.
Well, the big one is AI, obviously. So
okay.
We're gonna have to make sure that we have the chops for AI. The AMD piece, if we could get that live too at the same time, that would make me real happy.
Well, Davey said you'll have AI, or you'll not necessarily AI, but AMD will be supported.
But there's no.
That's correct.
We don't know.
Correct, because you guys use some type of module, whatever that connects with. Okay, got it. So day one, it's going to be beneficial to have your NVIDIA GPUs.
Yeah, and AMDs as well, because you can do rendering, you can do edge compute, you can do all kinds of shit. So, I mean, AMD is working hard to catch up, I think, a little bit with AMD on the AI side.
Yeah.
But well, I can tell you this: we've got a provider that's got 235,000 AMD cards sitting on the sidelines.
Jesus! Wow, that's huge. Yeah, so. Well, I thought I heard you guys in your fireside chat talking about you're going to some NVIDIA event.
Yes, we're going to be there for the Inception event with all the Inception programs.
Wow, when's that?
Shit, dude, I don't know.
Somewhere next year?
It's next year. They just tell me where to show up and I go there.
Tell me where to be. And
Davey and Caroline and Scott knows that team. They schedule it all and they keep me where I'm supposed to go.
I like it.
So it's awesome.
I like it, except for tonight.
They let me out.
Tonight I hit up Dan. I'm like, Dan, let's do this again. He's like,
they let me out for the evening.
Let's see here. That's cool. Guys, any other questions, please? Travelers are coming in late. AMD will be supported on proof of useful work on December 15th, day one. We talked about it earlier, which will be cool. And somebody in chat was talking about CES. You'll be at CES. It's January.
Yeah, buddy.
In Vegas. Very cool.
Why is that important? Because Flux is the very first project.
I'm going to the bathroom. Talk about
break out of the mold of the standard. I'm a blockchain project, and we're attempting to do some type of technology. Flux is a technology product that happens to utilize blockchain and blockchain infrastructure. So when we head to CES, we're going to be setting up right next to the likes of Microsoft Azure, AWS, so on and so forth. The other thing that's kind of cool is they're going to be putting us right in the AI area, and we're going to be able to have a chance to really showcase the product. We believe that when you start to showcase this. Look, it goes back to like 14 years ago or something like that I went to CES the first time. And it was amazing because I saw so much technology that would become the future. The first was LCD TV, or what was it, LCD before it was plasma, the first plasma TV that came out. Seeing that kind of stuff was amazing to me. So CES changes the dynamic of who our clientele that we're attempting to reach by basically switching things up and wowing people. And all of our products will be live at that point. So Flux Drive Pro, Flux OS, proof of use work, everything will be live. They'll be able to see it, experience it. We'll have a Minecraft server running. We're going to have a Minecraft server competition at the event.
That's cool.
So people from all over the world will be able to log on to Minecraft and build in real time, and we'll be able to showcase that live at CES. So, and I can tell you right now, Flux has been has been highly engaged to chat with lots of different people while we're out there. So part of Project Primetime, man, is getting out there and making this bridge that, you know, this is the Bitcoin, crypto, currency, blockchain space, and jumping it over to the standard technology stacks.
What are you talking about? CES?
CES.
Okay, very cool. Very cool, I like it. All right, guys, we have 10 minutes left. Fire questions at me. What are we drinking tonight? What's up? Of course, the Mining King asked. He's the man. He's rocking the ticket necklace.
Ticket necklace. It was awesome seeing all those guys in one place.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? What do you got over there?
I've got Labatt Blue, and I've got a little splash that I've been nursing here on Buffalo Trace.
That's right. I am drinking Victory Golden Monkey, Belgian style triple. Is what it is.
Him and his crazy ass.
You know what?
IPAs
like this size here. Now, granted, this is 19.2 ounces, so you're like 2 beers there, which is nice.
Oh yeah.
Which is good. It's a pint for those of you foreign people, yeah.
That's 2 beers that taste like shit.
I
cannot do IPA, man. Like I just can't.
That's guaranteed. King's gonna comment and be like, "Yo, you got any Coors Light?" Or,
yeah. King, we can get along just fine with that shit. Yeah.
Just one. One's good. Drink it for an hour and a half. I'm set and good to go. So I think. So recapping here, last 10 minutes here.
Well, hold on. I got a question for the community. I'd like to throw out there. What are you guys like most excited about with Flux, or what would you like to see over the course of the next 6 months to a year?
That's a good question.
And what we're doing, because I mean, obviously, everybody's going to think you know, price appreciation and stuff like that. But I believe we're probably in the beginning. Not financial advice, but I do believe we're in the beginnings of a bull market. There's a lot of
we're in this weird limbo, like this weird.
This is accumulation, man. This is like
we're in this weird state right now because it's like the economy is shit, but yet crypto is breaking off.
Yeah,
which is nice. I mean, I love it because you see it like it's breaking off from traditional stocks and investing in the economy, and it's doing successful on its own. And that's been the downside of the current, you know,
regulatory regime.
With us being in a recession or whatever you want to call it. Crypto has always followed traditional investing, and now we're seeing it break off, which is awesome. Can you imagine if we were in a bull run of crypto during a recession? Like that would be a perfect world, because then you would see more people rely on crypto from that side, which we're seeing that break off now.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing is people trying to escape conventional finance.
Yeah,
I mean, when you got BlackRock coming out, JP Morgan,
100%.
the ETFs coming out, people are looking for an escape vehicle from the unbelievable, you know, money printer that we've got going on now. So
that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see here. Let's see. Maker's Mark and a silly straw was my jam back in the day. That's what Geeko All Trade said. A silly straw. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Kaiser. Let's see. Checking up on everything here. Travels. What's up, buddy? Belgian triples are good. Thank you. I want to make sure.
Kaiser, I hope I make an appearance in the next book.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
If I'm going to do the audiobooks, I need to show up.
I think that'd be
somewhere.
sick, dude. That'd be sick. Audible with audiobook, Dan Kell. You know, voiceover. It'd be the beginning. Written by so and so. Voiceover by
narrated by Daniel Keller.
That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. Awesome, guys.
I'll do it. What the hell? I'll do it.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so I think those of you guys coming in late, so Proof Useful Work, December 15th, AMD and NVIDIA cards. Your rigs will be good to go. It'll be on Windows to get started, as well as Linux will be available too. Linux will not be, and honestly, Jeff Key, correct me if I'm wrong, Linux will not be what people are used to with Hive, where it's like you download it, put it on a USB drive, plug it in, and you're done. Linux is going to be you physically install Linux on this GPU mining rig, and then you run the command and it installs Flux
For
Core.
now, I'm sure somebody's going to build something up.
That's right.
You know, eventually,
it's not going to be me, but whoever does
slipstream, like, you know, just go.
And that's ideal. I mean, I think you guys will eventually get there, to be
honest. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, there's already talks about how we're going to do it. So, I mean, I think it just makes
because
sense.
I think honestly too, like if we launch on Windows, or when we launch on Windows, and if you find there's a ton of stability issues, like you're like, great, we got all these Proof Useful Work jobs running, but you constantly are seeing drops from these providers, as you call them. It might be like, oh, well, why? Well, because Windows updated, Windows shut down, Windows went into hibernate. It's like, well, shit. Okay, we're going straight, we're going the opposite route.
Yeah.
Unless there's something that, as I said, and it might be a short-term thing that like Alex puts together where it's like, run this script and it disables all that shit that causes the issues. Or we go with this tiny 11 type of deal, I think.
Well, the one thing we've seen about the nodes, other than when we push out updates and break them, they're pretty stable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's because it's built on Linux, really, honestly.
King asked about this, and we talked about it earlier. So King, sucks to be you coming late, but I'll answer it. Will there be pools or clusters available then? Yes. So
hell yes.
The organizations is the proper title we're calling them. Yes. So day one, organizations will be available. So you can all join the Hobbyist Miner organization, and we can all.
I could even see like, let's say the Hobbyist Miner or the Mining King create their own pools, and they incentivize the people that provide their infrastructure.
8 cents on Caspa, by the way.
Somebody in chat. Congratulations, guys! Congratulations.
That's sick.
Yeah, good work. Be careful. Invest appropriately.
That's right. Don't go to YouTube for financial advice.
Yeah, don't go to YouTube for financial advice. I could see individuals incentivizing people above and beyond what they're making, like standard structure, to bring them in to have a bigger pool. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll be joining somebody's. I'm not going to.
It'll be interesting to see. I just thought about this. If you have organizations that almost have like a buy-in fee, like not that you guys would do this, but that you would have organizations develop that are like the elite. You know what I mean? Like you may have this organization out there, and organization is very much as a pool at the end of the day, guys. That is like the cream of the crop. And it's like, well, to get in, you need this buy-in fee.
The tier, you have to have a tier score, right?
That'd be sick.
You have to have a gear score of 750 to get in.
So this is totally like, wow, like the entire model of this is based off of World of Warcraft.
I'm serious. Like, I mean, it really, honestly, it's just like, it gamifies.
That's smart.
Yeah,
That's smart.
mining. And I mean, because what is mining?
Yeah.
It's built around community.
Yeah, that's
right?
it. Yep.
So the people that are in Flux, we game together, we play together, we work together, we share information back and forth, and then it expands beyond this community into the crypto community. And same scenario, we're always helping people, doesn't matter what the situation is.
Yep.
So I think it just creates a stronger community. And here's the other thing, is it gets people away from looking at these shit coins on proof of stake and things like that. And it really pushes people back to putting mining front and center. And because the only way we'll ever achieve.
Good.
Take it away from me.
Oh, what? Yeah, I know.
You're trying to get
fidget. This man lives with fidgets. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The only there'll be tons of positives with that community-based feel. So I'm excited to see how it all plays out. I think there'll be business models that'll be built on this. I think you'll see organizations create, reselling of products as well to their customers. So, going to Flux as a wholesale unit and creating an entire business model behind that, I think could be absolutely awesome. You'll see people rent this gear for the sake, like the universities, they're going to want to have that info on hand. So they're going to pay a premium to keep that in queue. Okay, so students are doing a particular project, this semester. So we're going to run it from point A to point B. We may not use it at all at that, all of it in that window, but it's available.
Okay.
So for somebody like me, who my gear is just sitting there anyway, I don't give a shit if it's running or if it's just sitting there if I get paid. You know what I mean? So there's something to look at with that as well.
That's cool. Kaiser says, here's a snippet for Dan. It had been 5 years since the daring adventures of his intrepid hero, Dan Flux, and his trusty sidekick. I like it. Brian Hollywood says, when is there going to be a Flux poker tournament? That'd be cool to organize.
That would be cool to organize. That could be a Cipher Punk thing next year. And cool. I think we could do one. We were doing, Betty, if you're on here, we want it. To do another, we actually have a poker product that runs on top of Flux.
Oh,
so, okay. Whether we do, I think we should do something fun like that.
That would be pretty cool.
Close to the holidays and things like that would be a lot of fun.
That would be cool to have, like, because the Flux event, it's more than one day. So what if it was like day one, you come back, like, things end or whatever, you come back, and then they have a Flux tournament.
Oh, yeah.
poker table set up.
Do you realize how many people would have came out for that first night?
That would have been sick.
It would have been packed in there.
That would have been sick because I remember and the reason that you're asking about that is think of it. Our group went back to the Airbnb.
And I know,
had drinks
because I was already
just played poker.
I
hit up Dan. I was like, Dan, yo, where you at? Let's go.
I had literally just crawled into bed.
But imagine if we did.
Like,
imagine if we had a company locally that brings in the tables.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be sick.
Well, those guys will get whatever we need.
That would be sick.
Awesome.
All right, somebody make a note.
Good idea. Make notes on that, somebody.
That'd be a note. Cool. Let's see here. All right, catching up here. A few last things. Rondi comes in $20. How's it going? Much love, brother. Hey, we were talking about you earlier. So if you aren't familiar, Rondi, Flux Core and Proof of Useful Work will have the ability, what was the terminology you called it? To remote into someone else's rigs and configure them?
Yeah, basically management.
Yeah, so you'll have the ability, Rondi, for all these scrub GPU miners that have you configure their rigs, you'll have that ability with Flux Core.
And you'll be able to charge them to do so, Rodney, which is nice. I mean, so nice. There's another business model for somebody. You know, I can start managing not me personally because I suck.
Yeah, but people,
other people will absolutely be able to manage people's rigs and their infrastructure to make sure that they stay online, they're making the most money they can make, and the availability is rock solid.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be very cool. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up there. This was fun. Hour and a half hanging out with Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude,
it was awesome,
man.
brother.
I appreciate it. It was
Thank you,
good
guys.
time.
So December 15th, have your rigs ready to go. Windows, Linux, Proof of Useful Work will be ready.
Yep.
You'll be able to make money. Let's do it.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
15th, a couple things. 15th is the Proof of Useful Work, like he alluded to. We're going to have our landing page for our Flux Drive Pro coming out. You're going to also be able to see the first mock-ups of what Core will look like moving into the new year. We come in fast and furious at the end of the year, everybody. So
I like it.
If you're not getting the response or the input that you're normally used to, it's because we've got our nose down, ass up, dig. You know what I'm saying? So, hit us up in Discord and we'll help you as soon as we get to it. But we're going to be really busy.
I like it. Guys, if you guys have any other questions, hit me up or anything we talked about in Discord, just message me directly. I'll get your answers for you. Other than that, guys, we're out. Thanks again, Dan. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody.
See you guys later.